Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 19th of February, and on today's podcast, we have a jam-packed one for you today. As we can see here, coming at us from the Epic Times, Justice Department, my friend, says 2 prosecutors assigned to review Ukraine-related material. Barr is setting it up, my friends. It's just a matter of time before they all get knocked down. Also, coming at us from Greg Jarrett, we see here a lawsuit shows that Obama personally asked FBI to investigate individual for George Soros. George Soros has been in the news a lot lately, especially in the past 2 days, so we need to keep our eyes and ears open to see what takes place here in the near future with him. Remember, could he be the first arrest? The time will tell. But either way, George Soros, we all know, has a big part in American elections and a lot more than that. And coming at us from theguardian.com, Julian Assange, Australian MPs call on UK to block US extradition. Why do they keep preventing Julian Assange from getting back to America? Why don't we think about that? Maybe it's because he has the dirt on everyone. So we must continue to pray for Mr. Assange because we need to get him back here, get him pardoned, and get the ball rolling. My friends, before we get into this jam-packed podcast, would you please welcome my sponsor, Virtual Shield VPN. Hey guys, I got a question for you. Are you using a VPN to watch this video right now? If you are, and it's not Virtual Shield, then you're probably being exposed to a lot of people who want your information. I choose Virtual Shield, and I will show you now how it works. Check this out. As you can see, my friends, my IP address is right here, and when I go to virtualshield.com and click connect, you can see it changes right before your very eyes. This is the security we all deserve. So there you have it, my friends. Virtual Shield really does work. You can sign up today for a 30-day free trial, and once the trial expires, you can get a 24% discount by going to virtualshield.com/TRU. Just type in the promo code. You won't regret it. Thanks, guys, and enjoy the podcast. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Before we get into today's podcast, would you please go ahead and subscribe to my backup channel, True Reporting 2.0. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, so thank you to each and every one of you. Also, guys, would you please go ahead and click the notification bell so when I upload a video to this channel, you'll be the first to know. And friends, finally, would you please go ahead and click that like button? The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. So again, from the Epic Times, big articles coming out here lately that we need to spread around the globe. Justice Department says 2 prosecutors assigned to review Ukraine-related material. The Justice Department, the DOJ, told House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jared Nadler in a letter that the department has appointed 2 prosecutors to review Ukraine-related information. This comes after Attorney General William Barr confirmed on February 10th, just 9 days ago, that the DOJ had established an intake process to review any Ukraine-related information submitted by individuals in order to assess its source and credibility. His comments were made in response to question on whether the department was receiving information about matters about Ukraine from President Donald Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Senator Lindsey Graham, my senator, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, told CBS's Face the Nation the day before that the DOJ has created a process to allow my friends Giuliani to submit information he has collected in Ukraine about former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden so that the material can be vetted. And my friends, it's gonna get to Barr, it's gonna be exposed, and Biden, Hillary, Obama, Hunter are all going to have ties to Ukraine, and the corruption is criminality. Following Barr's remarks, Nadler sent a letter to the Attorney General demanding answers as to why the department was receiving information outside of its established channels. Panic, right? This is what they do best. Nadler also accused Barr of misrepresenting past comments that the Attorney General had not discussed Ukraine matters with Giuliani. On Tuesday, Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd responded to Nadler's request by his letter. Boyd stated that the process, which was initially handled by multiple U.S. attorney offices or department components, had been centralized and was being coordinated by the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. Doesn't that sound familiar? Richard Donahue. He added that the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Pennsylvania, Scott Brady, has also been assigned to assist in the receipt, processing, and reviewing of any information, guys, submitted by the public about matters related to Ukraine. So, what does this mean? This means the deep state has no idea where this information could be coming from. We all know it will be white hats, and they will be exposed for the criminality that they have done. This is just how it goes, guys. This is what's taking place. Boyd said the move to centralize the intake process was made in an attempt to avoid duplication of effort across different department offices, right? We can't trust anybody. This has to go from white hat hands to white hat hands to facilitate information sharing and to prevent conflict of potentially overlapping matters. They can't have anything to besmirch this, anything to corrupt it or get it into the wrong hands, because then who knows what can happen. Barr faced intense scrutiny following his confirmation that the DOJ had established a process to accept information about Ukraine, including from Giuliani. Several lawmakers expressed concern over the move to accept the information and summoned the Attorney General for testimony before the House Judiciary Committee on March 31st. Barr said during a press conference on February 10th that the DOJ has the obligation to, and quote, have an open door to anyone who wishes to provide us information that they think is relevant. That is huge. It's going to be coming from every nook and cranny, and the deep state won't be able to catch it. While adding that the department would treat any information about Ukraine with caution. He's got to throw that in there. That's lawyer talk. There are a lot of agendas in the Ukraine. There are a lot of cross currents, and we can't take anything we receive from the Ukraine at face value, Barr said. Another just more lawyer talk. And for that reason, we had established an intake process in the field so that any information coming in about Ukraine could be carefully scrutinized by the department and its intelligence community partners so that we could assess its provenance and its credibility. You know that it is true for all information that comes to the department relating to the Ukraine, including anything Mr. Giuliani might provide, he added. In his letter, Boyd reiterated that the Attorney General's position, saying that the department's move to provide for the receipt of the information, in quote, does not circumvent the department's established channel, adding that the DOJ regularly assigns attorneys to coordinate or focus on particular matters. He added that the process does not grant anyone, in quote, unique access to the department. Because if they had unique access to the department, then the deep state could get their hands on this. They besmirch it. They leak it. This is what they do. They try and ruin everything. They ruin any kind of process or progress that we attempt to make. But they will lose in the end. Any individual who makes use of this process will be treated just like anyone else who brings information to the department's attention, he wrote. He added that the information would be vetted and that the department is vigilant against, in quote, significant threat of, get this, disinformation. Who would push that? Oh, the MSM, black hats, right? To blur and muddy the waters. This is what they do best. Boyd also maintained that the Attorney General has not discussed Ukraine matters with Giuliani, citing the department's September 25th statement. So, you know, a lot could come of this as we will have to wait and see. But, guys, it seems that Giuliani is bringing the heat. He's bringing the evidence to William Barr, and the deep state's not going to know which hands are bringing this information. It's going to be coming from every nook and cranny. They can't keep up with it. It's the perfect plan. Coming at us from Greg Jarrett, this is even more huge news, guys. Lawsuit shows Obama personally asked the FBI to investigate individual for George Soros. So we can see here that Obama's doing personal favors for George Soros. What's the deal with that, my man? Oh, maybe because you're an agent of the CIA? Absolutely. Since Wednesday marks a 2-week timeline since President Trump was acquitted on 2 articles of impeachment. Democrats' amnesia is likely beginning to set in. Therefore, they will conveniently forget the charges of abuse they brought up against Trump and allege that what we have just learned Obama did during his administration was, in quote, A-OK. I hope they didn't do the white supremacy symbol when they said A-OK. Harvard law professor and Trump impeachment defense attorney Alan Dershowitz. I have mixed feelings about this, my friends, about this man, but carefully listen to what I'm about to tell you. This is massive. Again, could Alan Dershowitz have flipped? Obviously so. Could President Trump have him by the balls? Absolutely. And you'll see here, just broke from Alan Dershowitz that the news during a Sirius XM Patriot interview with Breitbart News that there is a pending lawsuit which ambiguously shows that, in quote, President Obama personally asked the FBI to investigate someone on the behalf of George Soros, the extreme leftist billionaire who was, in quote, a close ally of his and large donor. Although Dershowitz did not reveal who was targeted, he did insinuate the information would come out eventually. Particularly damning is that Dershowitz said he has in his possession the actual, in quote, 302 form, which documents this issue, and it will at the right time come out. It will come out. But I'm not free to disclose it now because it is a case that has not been filed. Acknowledging it is not unlikely to see the White House influence the Department of Justice. And quote, the difference is this president is much more overt about it. He tweets about it. Obama, however, whispered to the Justice Department about it. And I don't think these 1,000 former Justice Department officials would pass the shoe on the other foot test, said Dershowitz. So, my friends, again, this is huge. Alan Dershowitz has a 302 document showing that Obama was doing favors for George Soros. This should tell you everything about the corruption that's been going on behind the scenes. All right, guys, and coming at us from The Guardian, it says here, Julian Assange, Australian MPs call on UK to block US extradition. Why would they want that, right? Why do they not want him to come to the US to get pardoned so that they can then be exposed for what they have done, right? Julian Assange has it all. Don't get it twisted, guys. It says here, politicians from WikiLeaks founder home country have flown to the UK to visit him in jail. Right? Boris Johnson should block attempts to extradite Julian Assange to the U.S., say two Australian MPs who visited the WikiLeaks founder in prison, describing him afterwards as, in quote, a man under enormous pressure and whose health and mental health had deteriorated. George Christensen, a Liberal Nation MP for the ruling party in Australia, told a press conference outside the gates of Belmarsh prison that he knew of information which would come to light during the start of the extradition hearing next week that would make people in Australia sit up and worry. He said, I think that now is the time that the government that I am a part of needs to be standing up and saying to the UK and the US, enough is enough. Leave that bloke alone and let him come home. Guys, there's 2 points that I need to talk about. The first point is, why are they afraid to let him come to America? We are not under the same Obama regime anymore. We're under a pro-patriot, pro-free information government right now. We are under an administration that believes and supports what Julian Assange has done, right? Remember, 17 always tells us that Snowden was the traitor, Assange was the patriot. We need to go by that and trust that. So what this is telling me is that these people from Australia want him to come back to Australia, who knows what they can do to him, right? I believe he's much safer. He is much more safer in America under the protection of the president's administration, our military, the 17 team. I just don't trust the fact that these people, that these liberal national MPs want Julian Assange to come back to Australia so they can get their hands on him. There's two sides to this that we need to figure out, and I'm sure more will come of it. The article continues to just talk about how they want him to come back to Australia and that what they feel Julian Assange has done is not worth 175 years in prison, which won't happen because if he comes to America, he will 100% be pardoned and will be in safekeeping. You can bet your bottom dollar. So as we can see here from Technofog at techno_fog. Please follow this person on Twitter. He says the WAPO reporter at Matt Zapp pushing the bar quitting story is the same reporter who lied that the altered Carter Page FISA evidence, the C.A. Kleinsmith, didn't affect the validity of the FISA application. This same guy is spreading fake news, right? We can't trust anyone from the Washington Post. We just can't. And as we can see here, this is where we can see the switcheroo. Breaking: Barr has told those close to Trump he is considering quitting if the president keeps tweeting about the Justice Department investigations, per 3 administration officials. Lies, lies, lies. And then we can see again here, updates. Person thought to have done the altering was an FBI lawyer who has since been forced out. Altered doc fed into the Carter Page FISA. So he lies yesterday, and then he lies again when we were talking about the Carter Page FISA and how they were altering the document validity. Guys, these people are agents. They're not even real reporters. I can promise you that. They are paid off. We can't trust the fake news. Absolutely not. Coming at us from at inevitable_ET. It says here, Trump, this can never happen to another president ever again. I bet he intends to make good on that promise. Me too, my friend. Ever again is a very long time. So what are your thoughts on how he will do it? In order to burn this into people's memory, 1, Trump will need to serve up some epic, transparent, public justice that fits the crimes committed and increase it by 100, looking at traitors and pedos, public trials, and you know what's for 1. But that's not enough. Ever again? But in order to truly get rid of future government's corruption, I think Trump is going to have to get rid of the government or give the power literally to the people. The only thing I can think of would be a NESARA, NESARA. If the people control the wealth, we make the rules, right? That's what it is. We control the wealth, we control the rules, we take back our country. Implementation seems interesting without more details. Bring all new meaning to the Trump forever and the last president, right? Remember that meme he created where it just keeps ticking up, and it says, it keeps going 2020, 24, 28. It's just go, go, go. And the book, The Last President, which I always bring to light, and also inevitable_ET. It says here that all this is just spitballing, so don't get amped up. But this can also happen, again, because of our system of money. If you can hoard or steal or rob another and create wealth disparity, then this can happen again. Think on that one for a second. That means any entity that controls wealth disparity or has significantly more than the next can sequester and elevate themselves and others of their choosing from the rest, right? This is what they've done time and time again. They look out for each other, but they also eat each other because they're all lying thieves and they are all blackmailed. But honestly, that sounds like socialism, a system of equal wealth. We are used to socialism being Q system of equal poverty, but what if it was a system of equal wealth? If we were all equal wealthy, then what value is money? See how convoluted this gets? What will he do? How do you get around that? Even further, to keep us from isolating ourselves from the rest of the world, if we do away with our system of money, how will it match up with others around the world? If there isn't some commonality, it will create roadblocks to trade, which means where we go, so must the rest. Which then goes to GESARA. Step by step, there has to be a why and a how for everything we will accomplish. I don't claim my thoughts to be 100% truth, just that I am thinking. The cost of goods and manufacturing is largely driven by energy costs, plus cooling of the heat loss during use of that energy cost, then taxes. We could level the playing field instantly with reducing energy costs to say, what, free? Hashtag Tesla. So Inevitable ET has some really great points here. I really believe that we're going to get away from this money system. We're going to go against the Fed. We're going to create some sort of money-backed currency in which we prosper. We are $17 to $21 trillion in debt. If we get all that back from the Federal Reserve, the streets will be paved in gold. This is the golden age. This is the age of human enlightenment. This is the coming age of Christ consciousness. Take it for what it is. As we can see here, another post, another thread from Lisa Mae Crowley. This is absolutely disturbing. Please follow Lisa Mae Crowley at Lisa Mae 62, a great investigative journalist. For someone who an FBI agent noted back in June of 2018 from the Attorney General report, referencing files on Weiner's laptop related to Clinton Foundation and crimes against children, she shouldn't be allowed to go near any child. And we can see a tweet from the thick-ankled dogface. Such a terrific day visiting the Clinton Foundation partners in Puerto Rico who are working on disaster resilience and recovery. Well, what happened in Haiti, huh? Let me know. The goals, building back better and putting people first. Tune in to the liveclintonfoundation.org over the next few days for more on this work and how you can plug in. Just look at the face. Look at her face. That doesn't even look like her. That does not even look like her. I'm going off the cuff right now. Look into those eyes. They're piercing. The devil is within her. I can promise you that. Again, I mean, guys, this in all honesty does look like her body double, or unless she's had some facelift work. And, you know, she's looking at that baby with, well, you know, I could really get some adrenochrome right now. I could really get a nice afternoon snack. That's what she wants. You know, that's what's going through her head. We're not dumb. We know what they do. These are sick people, if they are even people anymore. And we can see here, she's saying, Gucci, Gucci, go. She wants some food. This is what they do. Don't get it twisted, guys. I know I'm being a little goofy right now, but this is no laughing matter. Friends, let's go ahead and hop into some memes to round out this podcast. All right, guys, as you can see from Sung Q Zoo, please follow this person on Twitter. My fellow patriots, he says, don't let the shills and those who were compromised distract you. There are many, many more patriots on our team, and we are winning. Do not get discouraged as you see more and more on the alt-right come out and denounce 17. Go with your gut and trust yourself. Words of wisdom, I say, my friends. From Maxine Waters, it's not enough for Barr to resign. I want him out of the DOJ, disbarred, disgraced, and investigated for obstruction of justice. Barr sabotaged the Mueller report, was in on the Ukraine plot, and now he wants to free Trump's criminal friends. In my estimation, they all belong in jail. If this is not projection, I don't know what is. This goes to show you that Barr is a white hat. I have never said a second thought against it, guys. From Educating Liberals, please follow this person at Educating Liberals, a really nice guy. Net worth before the presidency, Trump $3.7 billion, Obama $1.3 million, the Clintons $700,000, Carter $150,000. We can see here Trump went down $7 million, right? Absolutely, $700 million. And Obama gained over 100 million. Clinton got over, oh my word, I mean, they picked up over 200 million. Carter went up almost 8 million. Remind me who's corrupt again? Well, it seems like the Democrat Party is all in cahoots, right? From Lisa Mae Crowley. Excellent video. Those who attack 17 and supporters know 17 is legit. They're desperate to convince you otherwise. They're not afraid to ask POTUS about the anonymous New York Times book author, but don't have the guts to ask about an anonymous entity that sparked a worldwide truth movement. And if you guys have not seen the video that 17 posted, it is in the description box below. It's fantastic. And from our president, there must be justice in all caps, right? This can never happen again to a president or our country again. Is this a 17 proof? Absolutely. From February 9th, justice 17. From X22 Report at X22 Report, the elite are panicking. Hollywood is panicking. The MSM is panicking. Corrupt politicians are panicking. You are witnessing the removal of the old guard. I know you feel it, my friends, because I do as well. We are in the middle of a shift. Who holds all the cards? Barr. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn, and I believe Giuliani as well. Something big is about to happen. Get ready. And this was just sent to me from my good friend Skywalker 17. He sent me this, which blew my mind to end off the podcast, guys. This is a book called The Eyes of Darkness. It was written 40 years ago. Listen to what he has sent me. Li Chen defected to the United States carrying a diskette record of China's most important and dangerous new biological weapon in a decade. They call the stuff Wuhan 400 because it was developed at their rDNA labs outside of the city of Wuhan, and it was the 400th viable strain of man-made microorganisms created at that research center. The Wuhan 400, this book was written 40 years ago. It says here, and in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. They have been planning this for 40 years. Guys, we are watching a movie. I don't know how to explain this, but great sending me this. I mean, Skywalker, thank you. This is mind-blowing. Please follow him on Twitter or her. This is great information, and this should be shown elsewhere, everywhere. 40 years ago written, and they're talking about something happening in 2020 that is detailing the coronavirus. Get out of here. Mind blown, right? Guys, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. And don't forget to leave a like. You can donate to this channel and keep it afloat by going to my PayPal, my Patreon. We have a P.O. Box and True Reporting merch. Tonight, guys, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be covering the Arizona Trump rally. So grab your popcorn, take a seat, and let's get cozy together. Guys, I hope you have a great afternoon, and I'll see you all tonight. Have a great day. Bye-bye.